Hello, wonderful people. We are doing an alien radio signal hunt tonight. We are looking on the hydrogen line, that yellow line down there, and that green one there. We're looking out for potential alien radio signals coming in from amongst the stars. We've currently got a few stars in range there: Weazen, Aludra, and Adara. They are 430, 1,000, and 2,000 light years away, respectively there, but not too far in space terms, which means that we have a higher chance of detecting potential signals that could be coming from out there. Now, as the night moves on, our dish will sweep across the night sky, passing over various other stars there, and you can see that at the bottom down there. It's a live sky map showing you where our dish is pointing and what is in range there tonight. So we're going to be listening out for those strange signals, just like the wow signal that lots of you know about. How you doing, Carl? Galactic head of security there for the Starship Allen. How are you doing tonight? Harko is already in on the tubes, so we're a little bit earlier, I think, than normal tonight. Gonna have an early night on the train early tomorrow there. Neil was in as well. How are we all doing? Yes, it's another alien radio signal hunt tonight. Big face, glasses Monday. You get to see it all up close, but hopefully, yeah, there's going to be a bit more analysis that you guys are all going to see now going on across there. We are getting a slight signal. Look, you can see that orange line there, and you can see it spiking on the top around here. Now, because that is quite thin, that is likely to be electronic interference there, but we'll see if that changes as the night goes on. Maybe as we come off of a star, that will dip down. It could tell us and point towards that might be the source of that signal in the end there. Neil, thank you for the likes, and all good, Carl. I'm glad to hear it there. Yeah, we are all good. Busy, but good. We've been updating the Starship Allen tonight. And Neil as well, thank you for the gift there. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Yes, we've changed a few things on the Starship Allen. Alan's arguing at the minute, but very soon you will be able to ask Alan in the Discord there to change your job, your roles and your rooms and things like that, and also suggest new starships for new destinations for the Starship. That's a new one that we can see tonight. We'll have a destination and a mission for the crew there. All Alan's suggestions, so I'm sure that's going to go sideways. But until we go over to the Starship, we are looking at those signals coming in live. Hopefully we're going to pass over a distant star that's got a civilization on a planet around it there, sending us a signal. And if it does, we'll hopefully see it nice and clearly on the screen if we are lucky. They are quite rare, these signals, but they are not impossible. They do happen, and the frequency of them does seem to be increasing as the years go on. There are some very interesting signals very recently. We might even have detected some other things that have been hidden until recently, and we might get to hear about those soon, the way the news is going. Hello, Simon and Paul. How are you guys doing tonight? Laura Lass is in as well. Thank you for the likes, guys. It is those likes and shares that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. Send more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, helping us piece this puzzle together. But yeah, that is what we're doing tonight. We've got the world clock down. It's a bit small now. I'm going to have to change that so it's a bit clearer. But yeah, we have got that. We can track any signals that we do get in there. That red box there is the micro signal analysis, and that is looking at the background noise there, the baseline of that signal, to see if there is any faint fragments of a signal being detected there, but getting lost in amongst all that background noise. Because these distances are so vast there is a good chance by the time a signal reaches here on Earth, it's going to be so faint it's going to get lost in amongst all the noise. So that's what that is checking for there as well. How you doing, Paul? Thank you for the likes there. Simon too there. Laura Lass, good to see you. Paul as well, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate that. So yeah, that is what we are going to be doing tonight. Their signal strength is about average, but that is quite a tall spike there. We can see another one that wants to kick off around here, just not quite loud enough. But it is interesting to see that that background noise is changing there. What we're really interested in, though, is anything that is on like this line here, or that yellow line right there, because that is the hydrogen line, and that is the frequency on the radio dial there, the channel that scientists theorize that if we are to hear a message from extraterrestrials, this is where they would put it there. Simon as well, thank you for the heart there. Has engagement life, very similar to pre-engagement life. So, but thank you for asking. Very, very similar, although she keeps talking about wedding stuff now. I was promised that if I eventually pop the question, that's a wedding's separate thing. We don't have to rush, don't have to tackle that. It's just weddings now. That's all I'm hearing. But how are we all doing there? Ben as well, thank you for the likes. seeing you guys in tonight. Yeah, we are doing another alien radio signal hunt tonight. Still got 3 good stars in range there, Adara, Weezen and Aludra. All relatively close by. DJ as well, thank you for the likes. B as well, how you doing there? Yeah, relatively close by, which means the signals coming from those stars wouldn't have to be as strong for us to detect them here, so then we have that higher statistical chance of detection there. B as well, thank you for the gifts, appreciate those guys. It all goes back into the stream there, gifts, subs, patrons, all of that stuff goes in helping us improve what we're doing there. So I need to set the new Patreon, don't I? The next deep dive that we're doing there. Ben as well, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
But I think, is it Movie Club this Friday, guys? Is it Movie Club? I think it is this Friday, isn't it? The 27th, yes. It will be. What's new there? So, my big face on the layout. That's still semi-new. I haven't changed it back just yet. But hopefully, with this new layout, you guys on TikTok can see more of the analysis. We've got a few updates to the Starship, Alan, so we will be switching over to that in a bit. And then we can see some of those new updates there. You always look like the 70s scientist when you wear those. I mean, I've had some other 70s comparisons which haven't been as flattering, but I'll go for that. I'll go for that. You want a pair? I'm sure these will be coming available very shortly. Glasses Monday, exactly, Simon. Glasses Monday. It's amazing the things we decide to celebrate here, isn't it? How are you guys doing, though? How was your week? I've been kicking off of there. Great Scott, I need the crazy hair for it. That's what I need. I need to get one of those wigs. Maverick, hey, again, I'll take that over some of the other ones there. Lee, how are you? Guys, if you are just joining us, we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight. We've got a big dish there pointing up to the night sky, and as the Earth rotates, it's going to pass over the night sky, passing over various stars and their planets. Hopefully one of them is going to be sending us a signal, and if so, we might have a chance of detecting it, and we should see it here on the screen. So what you're looking at, other than my big face, right at the bottom left down there, that is the sky map. Shows you where our dish is pointing, how big its catchment area is, and what stars are in range. So as the night moves on, those stars move across the screen. That's what happens in real life, and we can see what stars are in range and what's going to be coming in range there as well. This top section here, the squiggly bits, that is the live radio signals coming in across multiple different channels there. And we're interested in that yellow line there. This is the same as that, but it's displayed differently, so we're interested in the green line in the center there. And this is displaying the same signals there, but rather than the dynamic up and down spikes, we're seeing the averages, so it allows us to see more patterns and things easier there. In the middle, that is what you're listening to. That is the actual signal coming through on the channel of interest there, the frequency of interest. And if I turn the music down and shut up, that's what that sounds like, and that is just the background noise currently of the universe there. So it's not an alien signal just yet, sadly. It is, it's just the sounds of the early universe there. It sounds of the Big Bang that we're picking up, and we want that red line to kind of look like that green line, basically. GWAC, thank you for the heart there. Lee as well. Let's have a look who else I missed there. There's a few there from you there, Lee, and Marcus too. Thank you guys, very kind. All goes back into the stream. Now, where am I in the chat? There, Rio's in. How are you there? Great. I got to go to take my first look at mobile homes. Awesome. And we're going again Friday. Nice. So you got sort of one that you want in mind there? Old Tickers is a big fan of that. I think they're probably very different, the US versus the UK. We have much smaller ones there. And GWAC.
Nom nom nom. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for feeding Alan there. Powered by Nulek. Have you got yourself a fancy sponsor? Kind of. We're working with them. They're the manufacturer of the radio equipment that we're using, and they have actually sent us some new gear, and that's why it looks a bit different, because this is more sensitive, the radio that we're using now. So they're actually helping us in our search. Pick up hopefully some fainter, more precise frequencies there. But we're going to be running a competition with them next month, so throughout March there, where you'll be able to get yourself one of 3 starter sets there. So there's going to be 3 available, which means you can kind of do this and do some other radio fun stuff like tuning into the ISS and whatnot there at home. So we'll have details of how you can enter that competition, and it's going to be mostly to the hardcore group, which is quite modest these days. So 1 in 3, it's not 3 sets out there. It's quite good odds there. So we'll let you know how to enter that, and then hopefully you guys, we can set up a network of people listening. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Awesome, B. Well, I want to see pictures in the Discord when you decide on one there. We've changed it all again, GWAC, yeah, so we've arranged it all slightly differently, so the TikTok can see all of the analysis. Beforehand, you could just see this bit. which is boring. So now we've put it all in there, so hopefully you can see a little bit more of what is going on there. I'm not sure if I am a fan of it yet. It's a big face for me, but some people seem to like it, so we're going to put it to a vote in a bit there. Got some squidgy bits. Me too, Simon. It seems to happen with age there. Harco, thank you for the heart there. How are you doing there? GWAC coming in with the shares. Guys, it is the shares and the likes that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves, getting more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, helping us piece this puzzle together there. Always one's beautiful, and it's called the Washington. Very, very statesmanly. It's a 3x3 with... a huge kitchen. I mean, your ones are absolutely massive over there in the States. Puts ours to shame. But hubby wants to keep looking, so we shall. Well, I mean, I want to see what you settle on. There, GWAG as well coming in with the roses, thank you. Maybe she can provide a few SDR. I have one left doing nothing. So, yeah, maybe. We'll see what they've got on offer there. And GWAG sent a treasure box, guys. Thanks, GWAG, when you claim the coins there. I think it would look better if you made the bottom a bit higher. I can do, but that's kind of how big they are without distorting it. Maybe I could do a left and right. Maybe I could stack them higher, so like that and like that. Maybe that could be a good shout there. You get me thinking, Ben. I like it. Did you see the TikTok? Oh, I haven't yet. Or TikTok. No, I haven't actually been on my TikTok messages yet. I'll have to have a look there. So, yeah, I think we're all mostly getting together tonight, so keep an eye out for those signals on screen there. We've got a little bit of a signal there, see that orange line? You can see it spiking a little bit around there as well. And that looks like electronic interference there rather than a message from ET, but you never know. Maybe if those stars go out of range and then the signal drops as well, that could be a correlation there. They said it is interdimensional, confirmed from... Oh, very, very interesting. I find the interdimensional angle quite an interesting one there, because we don't think of dimensions, you know, generally in the mainstream in the correct way. Normally, we tend to think of dimensions as like a separate place, more like the multiverse. You know, you can also, but a dimension is a way in which we interact with the same environment. So different dimensions are just ways, you know, up and down, left and right, you know, forward and backwards as well there. So if we're adding a dimension, it's the same place, but it's this extra part of it there. So I think it's going to be interesting there as well. Only went to about 10:30. Got the... Oh my God, Simon, that is early there. But I appreciate your commitment. Right, Marcus coming in with the gifts. Thank you there. My USB mouse. I'd actually tell her I do need to upgrade that. I honestly can't believe anything they say now, though. There's... Oh my God, yeah. Even if they said they came out and you know, it was on the White House lawn, you know, big green alien comes out of it, I'd still question it. I'd be like, what is it you want to know? Even though that's what I expect and what I want to hear, I would still question it there. And B coming in with the roses as well. Appreciate that. Should we quickly switch over to the Starship Alan? Which button is it? Is it that one? It's that one. Oh, my camera's off on that one. You have to ignore that. But there we go. We've got the Starship Alan, seeing all of you guys running around in a little ant farm there. Can you spot yourself? Can you see where you are up to there? Let me just remove my little camera because I don't need that if it's not working. Can we see where you guys are in that? So Kate's in the hydroponics bay with Marcus there. A up is still in the bar. V looks like she's in the cargo bay there. So is Commander Blue Nose in the cargo bay there. Simon, you're in sick bay with Banana. Raph is on the bridge as always, along with Carl there as well. Where are you hiding, B? Can we spot you? Where are you? You're always jumping out at me. Where are we? There's Doodle. You'll be around somewhere. There's Brad. Can we see where you guys are on the list? So we've added the new roles, so you can now change your role and things like that. Change your role, change your favourite rooms, you know, your job titles. We're giving you guys ranks as well there now. So if you want to join the Starship Alan, you can do. Even you do it via Patreon. You sign up there, even the free tier, and you'll get yourself on board the Starship there. Space is a bit folded. I am now following a beacon. We're on MG. Oh, what's that one? Harco there. And I wonder if they make pocket dimensions to fly through. Well, that is one of the things that they do. If string theory is anything to go by, there's meant to be like 11 different dimensions. So we operate in 4. So 3 of them are spatial and 1 of them is temporal, so time moving forward. But I think there's like 11, although they theorise it could be very, very small. That's why we haven't noticed them yet there. And Ben, thank you for the tofu. Alan's going to try that one.
Nom nom nom, thanks.
What did you think of that, Alan? He's not sure on the tofu. How are we doing, Angela, as well? Good evening. They're loving the stickers, G-Wack. And I was in the room with all the couches. We're getting probed. You're in the probing room. I mean, if Alan's not in there, you're normally safe, unless you set up some sort of automatic probing processor there. And if they did technically be interdimensional, well, that is true. They're definitely crossing at the dimensions there. I mean, I think it's going to be stranger than any of us can get our head around on there. Alan owned in your living room. Yes. Let's click on a few buttons here tonight if they want to load. There we go. Oh no, it's not working now. Typical. Alan's landed in your living. He's crash landed there. Oh, I bet. Do you any news on how he's doing? So guys, if you are just joining us, we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight. We are searching the stars, hoping to hear ET say hello. We're listening on a frequency called the hydrogen line, and that is that yellow line kind of that you can see there, and the green line right in the middle there. That is a channel on the radio dial where scientists theorize that if ET is out there, this is where they would put that message. The frequency, the hydrogen line there, is called the hydrogen line because that is where hydrogen gas naturally emits a radio signal there, and because it is the most abundant element in our galaxy, it gives us a nice sort of baseline to learn about the universe. So no matter what our communication technology might be, there will always be eyes and ears on this frequency learning about the universe. There, Simon as well. Thank you for that. What's that, a moon thing? That's cool. Thank you. Yeah, they'll always be listening and monitoring this frequency to learn about the universe. So if you want a message purposely heard, this is the place to put it. Now, look at the actual percentage decrease. That is very interesting. Okay, guys. That is very interesting. Oh, where's my cursor gone? There it is. Right, so we've just lost Adara, which was the closest of the 3 stars we had in range there. That was 500 light years. Or 430. So it's, you know, reasonable distance there, but not too far in space terms. Half of what these two are. And it was at 52%, and now we've almost dropped 10% on the signal strength there. In fact, this signal has just dropped massively. Look, it's now not even peaking. Very, very interesting indeed. Star goes out of range of the dish. The signal strength drops. Very interesting there. I don't get the football references there. Does that mean they're good or bad? Must have been something around Adara there. I think so. There's definitely a correlation there. That is very, very interesting there. Hey up, hello. How are you doing? They're currently stuck on the train in London. Wait to Gatwick. Oh yes, because you're flying out there. Hopefully that all goes smoothly. Thank you for the rose. We've just noticed out something very, very interesting just now. So hopefully you can see this. But look, so we're down to 43% here. This, a moment ago, and for the beginning part of the stream, was at about 51-52%, the sort of the average. And now it's dropping. It's even struggling to stay orange there, but it correlates with Adara being in range and now not being in range there. So to me, there's a bit of a correlation there. Very, very interesting. Star comes out of range, and our signal sort of drops there. Oh wow! So southbound trains. Oh my god! That's happened to me a few times when I used to do the cross-country run there. You'd get all the way to like Bath, and then they'd send the train back to London because there's no other route to go. Fuck's sake! I'm feeling your pain there. Hopefully it doesn't disrupt your flights and stuff too much there. And Simon.
Nom nom nom. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for feeding Alan. So yeah, very interesting. Let's keep an eye on that one. It's starting to go back up now. Okay, that's interesting because that goes against our theory because we've not got anything coming in range. Is it coming up? Is it by a point or so? Still quite low. Let's keep an eye on that one there. It doesn't to make you nod off there. Well, at least it's good for something. A little bit of a relaxing sleep there. Ooh, Ben, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe something's blocked it. If that does then pick up, maybe there's something in between us and that has passed in front of it. Now, this should show anything obvious, but yeah, it wouldn't if there's a craft or a comet or something transient there. Let me just check my my sky tracker there just to make sure something obvious like the moon hasn't come into range. I don't think I think it's much further. It's directly that way. Yeah, no, there isn't anything directly in front of it. So yeah, there could be something that we don't know about in between these distances. Good shout there, Ben. As long as we don't see the decrypted message, yeah. What could it say? That is the other half of this, isn't it? That we don't know what the message would say. I think it'd just be exciting enough to get a clear technological signal, not from this Earth there. Now, what that would say? Do we know the alien language? Do we know how they encode their messages? Now, there's an argument that they would kind of keep it nice and simple to maths, so therefore we could communicate. But there, yeah, if we were to pick up something, you know, their internal communication, say, in their language, how would we, where would we even start there? What would that sound like? Be quite interesting, I think, to check that one out. It's a double bubble. Thank you, it's night, not till the morning, but at the hotel. Or there we, that works out all right then. Make the most of a nice airport hotel there. First class, I expect, up. So yeah, it's interesting. What's it doing now? 45. It is slightly higher now. It is increasing again. That does fit. That does fit. Are you sure? Not got a suite then? Is that what it is, up? You've got a whole suite. You've got the top floor of the Gatwick Hilton. Alan says he wants to join you there. Yeah, that is interesting. It's definitely up again. That signal is playing games with us tonight, guys. Interesting. New equipment, new signals, like it. Because that's not the same place as the original interference signal. That was about here. So God knows what that's happening there. When are they going to land the rocket on the moon? Well, good question there. So they had the second, is it the second Artemis mission or is it third? They're planned for, I think, this month, wasn't it? But there's too many errors. They keep having to roll it back in. And surprise, surprise, you know, Boeing can't build a decent rocket anymore. United Launch Alliance, or whoever it is now, can't seem to build a basic rocket anymore, so that looks like it's delayed. But this mission was to just orbit the moon with a crew, which would still be pretty awesome there. We haven't done that obviously in a good few years, but the one after that was what they were planning on doing, a landing again. But they haven't even built the landers yet. They're still so far behind. But yes, even just the orbit of the moon seems to be delaying it there. I'm all up for competition in the space world, but it does seem that the other guys aren't dropping the ball massively. And if you're new equipment and still the same spike, it has to be something. That is true. Well, so this is where the old spike was, around this area. So this is a new spike, and it is giving kind of electronic vibes. We are seeing a little bit of it on the waterfall, but because it is quite thin. But it does seem to be going up and down, so it is interesting, Ben, there. Adara, yeah, that's the star that has just left us there. It's about 430 light years away. So we've still got a Weazen and a Ludra in range, yeah, but Adara has just left us and seems to be with it there. The Artemis there, I'm sure I would be wanting to get into that one. Yeah, I know, exactly out there. But they did it with less technology years ago, apparently. Yeah. Less technology, but also probably less red tape. My God, they can't seem to do it anymore. It's a bit frustrating, isn't it? We do want to get back to the moon, I think, as soon as possible. But hey, you never know. Maybe they're just going to release all the information and we're going to realise we didn't need, you know, chemical rocket technology. We've all got those reverse-engineered UFOs. Maybe that's all going to come out. me. Let me put that one back down. We held together with duct tape and a prayer. I mean, just like Challenger there. Do you know who they do need up? They need Chodex to build them a rocket. They need the Giga Chode. That'll get them to the moon. That's going to have to be one of our missions. We're going to have to go to the moon with that. We'll see if we can do it faster than Artemis. See if we can do it from scratch. Build a rocket. Learn how to do it from scratch. That's going to be our next one, I think. See if we can get to the damn moon. Pressing the buttons. No, not wanting to work. That's frustrating. So yeah, guys, if you are just joining us, we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight, searching the hydrogen line. That is that, the green line there, and the yellow line faintly there that you can see. That is where we think, and where scientists think, that aliens will be most likely to put a message, should they be out there sending one. It's where we've heard interesting signals in the past, like the WOW signal, and many other strange signals that have been detected over the years. In fact, the SETI at Home project recently has finished going through all of its data. It only took them 20 odd years there, and they have a good number of interesting candidates from that project there. When people say, where is all the evidence? It's out there. It's bloody everywhere. People just don't want to believe it there. I won't get them back though. We're only thinking one way here. Like, the point is getting to the moon. Crew's expendable. Sorry, Simon. Oh, excellent, B. I'll check that one out. That's very interesting. Thank you. Interdimensional. I mean, it's all going on. It does feel like now is the time, isn't it? For all of these things to start coming out. Where are we there? We're nearly at 5 to 10. Not too bad. Yeah, we're getting the undulations back. This is interesting, but we're not getting... See, it's going up slightly. It is rising again, but it's not fully there. So that is quite interesting. Wonder what there's there. Ah, the train is moving. It's so frustrating, isn't it, when you're stuck with no information. The worst bit is not knowing there. How you doing, M to the C? Good to see you in tonight. We're doing an alien radio signal hunt. As the weather is not playing ball, let's check actually what is the weather looking like for the rest of the week. Remember, we've got the special project, the secret special project on Thursday, so it's going to be an earlier one, and it's going to be nothing to do with UFOs, but you guys are my guinea pigs. Luckily, Thursday's looking like rain anyway, so we're not going to be missing out on Skywatch for that. Now, tomorrow, guys, at the minute, let's not, touch wood. Let's not jinx it though. Clear, beautifully clear night. Wednesday? No. What we're looking for? Possibly clear. Possibly clear there. But tomorrow is looking like it's going to be a good damn Skywatch there. What are we talking about? Friday could be lengthy clear spells. Friday. Oh, has the weather changed in our favour there? Very interesting. So yeah, fingers crossed we're going to get a few Skywatches in there. I feel... Oh, where's that gone now? There. And Simon, did Alan forget?
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
Thank you for feeding Alan. All goes back into the stream now, and I feel like they do. They are going to blame everything on them, and I won't believe it. Well, that is the other part of it, isn't it there? It's just another them, if it all comes out to blame everything on. The temperature on Adara is 22,200. Jesus, that is that's a warm star. How does that compare to our star, the sun there? Is it a hotter one or is it a cooler one? As if they wanted to set that audio. I think that's a very, very good point there, B. I still, part of me, I can't fully relax. Especially if there's going to be multiple ETs involved. But I do think that is a very strong piece of evidence there. Oh, look at it. We're up to 50% now. It's gone. Look, 50-51. It's really shot up. Just shot up. 51. Interesting. But yeah, they've been here as long as we speculate they have. Yeah, they probably would have done the invasion already there. What was that character? I can't remember now. What's the leader? what will SETI do? Will they look back at the areas the signals come from to get another signal? So yeah, that is the first thing there. So, well, they look at it, go, is that signal, does it look technological in nature? Tick, right? Hopefully that normally filters it all out automatically. Then, once they've got interesting signals, I think they do a couple other checks, like do they know that there is a star in that area and all that sort of basic stuff. But yeah, then they'll go point another dish, probably for a very short period of time, to see if they can detect that signal again. Now the issue is that all of this data was got about 20 years ago, and they're now going to start looking, and it will take them months or years to start and look at the other candidates. So, you know, there's a bit of a lag there. If you are waiting for that second signal, and it's unlikely they're going to be transmitting it the whole time. Interesting, you know. I think there's a bit of too much of a delay there. SETI needs to be much more reactive and faster there. Schumann has been crazy lately, down to 101 a day. Really, I still need to get my head into that. I know the rough bits of it, but yeah, because I mean, yeah, frequency does affect us in so many ways. 4 times hotter than our sun. Wow, that means it's probably going to burn out much quicker. Oh, so now we go. We've only got a Ludra in range there now. We're still at the higher range. Maybe that's why it went up. Why would it go up when we're losing one from a range there? It's crazy temperatures. They're 4 times hotter than our sun there. 20s later, yeah, I wonder if that could affect the signal. It may well do. I think I need somebody smarter than me really to help me figure that one out. But could well be the case. Definitely activity in our local stellar environment. That can definitely play a part there. I still haven't added the solar weather. I keep forgetting that one out. One day I remember I was adding features to the Starship Alan tonight. So we have to be careful now on the Discord, because Alan can demote you and change your job title and put you in a different room. So if you offend him on the Discord, Alan might take his revenge on the Starship there. The full moon as well. Yeah, so we've got, when is it? It was Tuesday. I was looking at the half moon, wasn't it? So is it, what are we looking at? Friday, or it's getting there? Saturday, almost full. Sunday, doesn't seem to be moving. Thursday, Friday. Yeah, very active. And we've got a blood moon as well at some point soon as well. I know there's some sort of moon important thing that's coming up very soon. Probably not smarter than you, but I do love research. B, you probably are. You're probably much smarter than me. I need to get around to it there. 100 B, I'd love that. Yeah, if you can give me the cliff notes on it there. So I can't call him Aubergine then. Wait, what's that? On Alan on the Discord, yes. Well, you can. You can call him the mean little avocado. That's what I've been calling him. Little green thing there. He's overripe. He gets cranky. You can. He might just demote you, though. And thank you there, B. So, yeah. We've also got destinations and missions for the Starship as well. So, that's going to be a new one there. Are there any pylons near for the electrical interference? Good thinking. So, there are out the front of the property, but not around the back. So we should be far. I mean, they're not the big ones. It's just, you know, they have the overhead power connections for these houses. They're older ones. So yeah, there's nothing obvious that should be causing that, and especially nothing variable as well. Normally, electronic interference is not going to go up and down unless the usage of that device is kind of going up and down. It's sort of power consumption. So everything here is pretty static. So I'm not sure why it'd be picking that up. But yeah, maybe there's something in between us and them. Not really sure. We'll deduce it at some point. Stonehenge giving off the energy. You never know. I'd be brilliant if we'd point the dish that way. Actually, what way is it pointing? No, it's not pointing in the right direction for that one. Electron, Harco, how are you all doing there? Time-lapse and Xena. Why is that not coming through for me? Have we had a foul over on the YouTube as well? Let's have a look. Because those chats are not showing for me. Let me check what is going on. What's going on? Tubers, are you there? Let's have an update there. See if that one wants to work. I think that's working. Why was my chat not working? Yes, it says we're live. How are you doing, tubers are there as well? Right, let's get everything back to where it was. And we are loaded. There we go. But took his alien pets away. Well, I mean, to be fair, I was pretty livid about that as well. Oh, TikTokers, you're fine. It's the tubers that seemed to be that was playing up. The chat wasn't coming through for those guys. But I think it's there. 10:04. You're in further ahead. It's only 10:03 here. Carl as well. Thank you for the ice cream.
Nom nom nom. Thanks, guys.
There. Should we quickly switch over to the starship, Alan? Who is where? Can we spot anyone? Where are you guys? This is our little ant farm colony. If you want to appear here, you can just sign up on the Patreon. Even the free tier gets you on board there as well. Marcus is now set to navigator. Kate is a bioengineer there. Electron there is outside engineer. May as the doctor. Or Captain V is nurse, but also captain. Lieutenant A up there, and Carl is galactic head of security. Can we find you? Raf is on the bridge with Carl. Alan's in his room there with B. Simon's still on sick bay. You must be poorly there. Banana and Blue Nose there, sick bay as well. V looks still in the bar there, or are you in the Chicago Bay there? Where am I? Oh look, I'm in the holodeck there. Simon, you're in the sick bay. You're blocking the door. So yeah, if you're on our Discord as well, Alan can now move your rooms, or if he's working, there he can now change the rooms that you're in, demote you as well. So you got to be careful. And also, yeah, what else can he do? So yeah, if you log in via the app, you can connect your Discord account there, and you get that cool pulsing effect. Yeah, you can set which is your favourite room. If you've got a job there, you can set your job, and we're going to be adding. In fact, let's do this now. Our captain is not in tonight, but this is a new feature. So let's set our destination for Proxima Centauri there. There we go. Oh, 4 hours, 14 minutes, 20 seconds. 5 proof that aliens are into butt stuff. That is, okay, that's our official. Alan has decided our mission there. I have no control over that. And that's going to be our mission, apparently. Well. Oh, Rio must be invisible. Rio, let's have a quick look. Let's see if I can find you there. All right, where are you? No. Nope. Nope. You're there somewhere. You are. It looks like the computer core at the top here, near Alan's ready room. So yeah, there we go. That is what's going on board the Starship Alan. Alan has me chained in the probing room. You're doing the work. I mean, that is his new favourite hobby there. Bloated. I mean, that's fair enough reason to be on sick bay there. That is a spicy mission there. Too much space junk in your trunk there. Oh, 10:04. I thought you meant 10:04. Thank you, Xena, though. But we are on our intergalactic mission there to Proxima Centauri to find proof that aliens are into butt stuff. You can also get Alan to suggest other missions and destinations on the Discord. You just /ALEN and ask Alan to make some suggestions. He'll come up with things and he'll add them to the list, and then the captain can set the course, and the the commander can set the can set the mission. There we go. So at the minute, that is V and Blue Nose, who aren't in tonight, sadly. Otherwise, they could set the mission for us there. Right, are we all up there? How are you doing, Sean? Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? And guys, if you are new here, do say hello. I'd like to hear from you there. Have you ever had an experience with the UFO, the alien phenomena? How do you feel about it there? Oh, you know what? Alan is definitely into it. Oh, that's his middle name. Don't know what his last name is, but that's definitely his middle name there, Ben. Alan is most definitely into all of that. So, Yeah, if you are just joining us, we are doing... Ooh. Oh, bloody thing's not working. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we are doing an alien radio signal hunt there. As the Earth rotates, our dish will sweep across the night sky there, passing over various stars. Hopefully one of them is going to have a planet that's inhabited by intelligent life and be sending us a signal. Currently, oh no, we've lost all the close-by stars in target. So there's plenty of stars in range of the dish. It's just those closer-by ones that are listed are now out of range there. So there's still thousands there, but they're travelling. Any signal will have to travel much further. Okay, so that's interesting. Look, the signal has now gone down. Now we have lost Aludra. The signal has gone down. This is very interesting tonight there. The anal avocado. Alan's pulling a face now, Simon. So it's definitely strapping you to the outside of the rocket for the next game there. But yeah, so as these signals now are travelling from very, very far distances, which means they're probably going to be quite faint. So a nice clear spike might not be as probable now, but doesn't mean we can't detect it. It does just mean we'll have to work a little bit harder for that one there. So keep an eye out for those potential signals. We're interested in the middle of the line. So this line here, around on and around that area there, and the same for, where's my cursor? No, up there. Same for around this area here. They are the same thing, just displayed differently. But that is where we have heard those anomalous signals in the past, and it is where science thinks we are most likely to hear them there. Mr. at least. Does it get the formality there, Simon? He says, Mr. strapped to the outside of a rocket sent to the moon. Yeah, it's definitely dipped there. So we had 3 stars in range. The signal strength was high. We lost 1, and it dipped. And then it started to climb again. We lost the second one, and it's dipped. And we lost the third. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. That's very interesting. There. And I said, humans are bad at following orders, and he's keeping me there. Oh. Well, I didn't say he definitely would do it. At least he's not demoted you, B. I can override Alan. Hold on, let's see. Well, sometimes I can. Sometimes I can't, though. Let's see if we can move you, B. Let's bring up the starship. Where are you? B. There you are. Right, so you're in the probing room. Let's see if we can move you to... move to the armory. No, looks like you're not. No, that's Brad. You was in the probing room. I can't even see you now. Maybe Alan's thrown you off the whole spaceship. Where have you gone? Oh, no, you are in the armory. There you are. No. Where is the armory? There. Where is the armory? No, you're there. You're definitely not in the armory. But you are out of the probing room now, B. So that is something there. Alan's favourite probee there. That's a badge. A badge of honour, potentially. Oh. My cheeks, thank you. Love it there. So, what's the signal strength? It seems to be gaining again. No idea what that is doing. No idea. But if you've seen the film Contact there, or the recent TV series Pluribus there, it's very similar to that is what we are doing tonight there. We're listening out the big radio telescope there, hoping to detect a signal that's strange enough that it could be coming from an extraterrestrial civilization. Now, they used to be incredibly rare, but as technology is advancing and our equipment is getting more and more sensitive, we are detecting more of these signals that we don't quite know where they are, but we do coming from. But we do know that human tech and nature are very, very unlikely to be their origin. Oh, what time tomorrow night there, Rio? You know what? Probably closer to 10 tomorrow night, I think. 9:30, 10ish. I've got to travel back for work, so I'm always a bit later for that one. So yeah, 9:30, 10, so which will be 11:30 to 12 UK time there. So we'll try and get 2 hours in. That's what we reckon. But we probably will be earlier on Thursday for the special stream. Ah, Rio, well, that you should still catch us then. God, that's a late one though. That is definitely a late one. What is everyone's week looking like coming up there? How you doing, Brad? And thank you for the likes. Appreciate those, guys. All those likes and shares. It does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourself there as well. Brad, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom. Thanks, guys.
Keeping him well fed. Yeah, what have you? Anybody got an exciting week coming up? I have my annual review tomorrow, so there's always the looming fact of redundancy. Which I'm hoping it's just my neurosis worrying about that, but we shall see. What's the graph at the bottom right? It looks like a wave. So the graph, the bottom right, this one here, yeah, it does look like waves. So sort of this one, this top section here, that is the live radio signals coming in across all the channels. So it's basically like your old-fashioned car radio dial where you'd move the line across to detect which station, which channel you wanted. But basically this is the dial, but it shows you all of the signals coming in across all those different frequencies where they are there. This is the same as that, but rather than showing all the precise peaks and troughs, the ups and downs, that is showing the averages of it there. So it allows us to see more patterns and trends and things like that. Look, the signal strength has dropped so much there. It's barely going orange at all. That is very dynamic tonight, isn't it? Very interesting. Hyperfocus on finding some land. Might go camping. Oh, very nice. Agent X had me thinking about land last night. He's looking at a forest. That would be awesome there. Banana, how are ya? Oh, only popping by the Love Island final. Anything for the lady. You love it, really. I was going to say. Can you imagine Alan on Love Island? That would be a show I'd watch. We're not tuned into the spike. We can ever so slightly. But when we've heard it before, it doesn't sound... Because it's actually quite low. So the actual spike... See it here. It's actually quite faint. I don't think it's not big enough for us to really hear anything. And thank you for the heart there, Banana, as well. And Lee for the gifts there, too. I mean, I can. Where is the actual? I have to do a second whilst I move everything around. There we go. No. Can you hear the difference? There's not much in it. Ooh, where's the... there? It's having a second to catch up now. So this second one, because I've moved it, it's confused it. It'll take a second to reset and that'll lower down. This is the actual spike now, where I've moved it across. So yeah, that'll match, and then this one will eventually disappear. It's flashing. Can anyone do a Morse code? Well, funnily enough there, Simon, that might be a way of communicating or encoding a message within it, the actual signal strength. Get him on there for sure. If I'm in bed on time, I'll pop back and have a go. Oh, awesome, Banana. Well, hopefully enjoy the special. I just imagine Alan there. Alan would be in I'm Alien, get me out of it. That's a whole spin-off series there. Finally sat down with my little puppy, to watch the stream and hear a woman say, "Hello, darling." Oh, what's that? What? Oh, that's free. No ghost in the house, Brad. Tell me that's a pop-up you've left open somewhere. There was a bit to it, wasn't there, man? There was a very subtle. There was something there. It's taken a while to go down that one. Oh, there we go, and it's faded out now. Takes a second to catch up. There we go. Put that one in. Brad, you're going to have to keep me informed now. Get the Ouija board out. They just went around the whole house. the overnight, like, I don't get any spooky vibes from this house. We've been here a year on Thursday, and always worried of an older place there. Going, oh, you don't know, ghosts and stuff. But we've got a rule: no ghosts in the house, and never really have any. I say never. There's been a couple of things that I think I choose to ignore and put down to probably coincidence. But we did hear what seemed like a woman talking muffled next door, that sort of sound. It wasn't actually coming from next door, but it, no matter where you were in the house, it always sounded like it was muffled and coming from the other room. It's only happened that one night. I heard it on 3 or 4 different occasions there. You got to find out what it is, Brad. We need to know now. And if you don't know, definitely don't introduce a board and show. Yeah, I ain't doing it. Oh, you're more tuned in, aren't you, guys? There's a few of you guys in the chat that are more open to. I'm so closed off to it on a personal level. Like, I just don't want it in the house. Oh, really? Oh, tell more, Rio. Let's spin this over into a spooky stream. I mean, the aliens aren't chatting tonight. I mean, bloody hell, look, it's down to 39%. I've not seen it this quiet, this low. Very interesting. I mean, yeah, something's going on. But yeah, let's turn this into a spooky one. Come on, guys. What's the updates? Brad's being haunted live, and so is Rio there. And Lee, could the interference be your last boil in the kettle? Well, in principle, potentially. But no, we've checked all of the things in the house. I've done a few sort of tests to see how they all interact. But in principle, that's not a crazy idea. There was one, wasn't there? Is it the Green Bank telescope, I want to say? They had a really good SETI potential signal, and they were getting excited about it. But when they were checking, it turned out, yeah, that their microwave was unshielded in the canteen. So they would get this good SETI signal every time somebody went for lunch and microwaved a Rustler burger. Might get the cards out and see what I can, as I'm able to talk to them, but getting the energy. Oh, Brad, you gotta let us know there. I can sense people in places, but can't see them. You do wonder if those senses, it's like something that we've lost mostly overall there, but this is just the sort of the vestigial remains of skills that we once had there. So you got the sense now in your place, Rio. Are you getting anything else that might be correlated with it there? Like, I don't know, misplaced items, cupboard doors being left open. Can look at a picture of properties and can pick up on events and hauntings. I don't even want to know about my place. I am very curious, but I also don't want to know. And Subterranean goes, well, thank you for the heart. How are you doing there? Oh, the dowsing rods there. We got a set of those. I don't know how to use them, but we did get a set of those when we went to investigate the crop circle. Do you have much luck? I just have knowing. I don't know how I know some things, you just know them. A lot of our processes are unconscious, aren't they? So it would make sense that there are these skills, residual skills within us that some people are better at picking up there. Thank you, Carl. But now I'm thinking, is there something to say? God, that's gone right down, look. 38%. And I can see it on the waterfall as well. It has thinned out, because I don't know if you can see. No, you can't see. Oh, where my cursor is there. You see a little bit of the waterfall, which is like the printed out results of the top spike there. We mostly have it covered. But yeah, that is going down. We're at the 40 now, 41. Is it going up again? Interesting. I wish we had crop circles in my area, but I got lots of ghosts and monsters. I mean, I love the sound of that, though. That is still pretty cool. I mean, we are right in the heart of crop circle country, as we say. And we visited one last year, so I'm looking forward. And it shouldn't be long. I think it was May last year that the first one of the season happened. So what are we in now? End of February? Towards the end of February. Oh God, I'm late. Yeah, we're getting towards the end of February now. So March, April, May. Not long until crop circle season there. What are the best ghosty ones you got there, Subterranean? I believe in aliens, etc. there, but ghosts and spirits. Nah, I don't believe so. And that's fine. Yeah, some people don't cross both sides. There is quite a strong overlap, but some people don't go either way there. And that's fine. I have a gut feeling that whatever is going on, there's going to be a connection between it all there. Makes disabilities make you more open to a spiritual energy. Well, yeah, I've heard things along the lines of, you know, like if you lose your sight, you know, your other senses heighten because you're kind of using them more, you know, whereas when you're kind of using a bit of everything, you know, you're kind of half good at everything there. But if you know, you can only use 2 or 1, then, you know, you become very more focused on that. So it makes a bit of sense. And how you doing there, Joseph? Good to see you there. Oh, thank you, Joseph. That's very kind. It's Glasses Monday, which means I've had a shower earlier than normal, and I've taken my contact lenses out. So you all have to deal with me on the big screen there, looking like a 70s corn star. And the signal is still playing up. That is interesting there. And Jess there, this is a harmful myth there. Your senses do not heighten when you go blind. It's still stereotyping. Well, I've got to admit, I don't actually know, but I have heard about this there. I mean, I wouldn't imagine you would get superpowers with these things. But, I mean, just as a principle here, so I work in audio, and you won't be able to unhear this, that basically you can tell when something's made for visual, or you can tell when something's made for audio purposes there, because the amount of effort that is put into whichever is the prime. So if you take your normal YouTube video and you're just listening to it as if you would a podcast, not so much when you're doing other stuff there, but you've got to be focusing on it as if you're listening as you would to like an audio book there, you will notice how awful the sound quality is there compared to a proper, like, you know, audio first content there. And that's it's a big problem that we have with trying to do cross-platform stuff. Which one do you prioritize there? But when you are focusing on just one of those, you will really notice the details of the other there. So I don't think you'll get superhuman powers, but it would make sense that you are there is a balance of perception, I would imagine. Oh, you've got to sleep there, Simon. No worries, Simon. Get some rest. That is a very, very early start. I'm not a fan of that one there. The ghosts can affect energy, and the signals that you're getting is a pure energy. I mean, it gets very vague, and I want to understand the core of how it can work, or how it could work. I'm not sure on the specifics, but yeah, I'd like to get to know how these things could work there. But I mean, in principle, yeah, like they can affect your energy. I mean, you know, if whatever that is going on there is working on the electromagnetic spectrum, well, we're all on that. So it would make sense it can be interfered there. Maybe more aware of your other senses by putting effort in and focusing. I think it's got to be something like that as well, hasn't it there? But it's a very good point you bring up, Jess, because I think, you know, you're totally right there. It doesn't all of a sudden make you echolocate like a bat, does it? You know, you've got to, you know, it's not going to be like you're still at a disadvantage, you know, if that's the correct way of putting it. But, you know, it's not going to be that different. I imagine, yeah, you'd be more sensitive to those areas there. To a degree, but I don't know there. And King Donald, how are you doing? Love the name there. I read those books that say he was blind, so he had superhuman hearing. I think we can get behind that. I wouldn't know that. I tell you what, that really struck me though, and it was a real lesson of you don't know what you don't know sort of thing. So I post the old COVID, I had a lot of trouble with my heart and things like that, and I had to be very careful about for a while. Luckily, touch wood, it's all right now. It took a while, but to be very good with my heart and blood pressure and things like that. So even going upstairs was really dodgy, and I thankfully hadn't really had to consider the physical world very much, like physical limitations. I was lucky, but after this, and I really had to notice every step I was taking there, because if it's more than 2 or 3 steps, I'd have to plan for that. And trying to cross London on the tube and avoiding, like, you know, the stairs. You know, not many platforms have disabled access, or if they say that it's reasonable and there's still like a 2 or 3 steps here or there, all of a sudden you realise that they're just bloody everywhere there. And subterranean, there's a guy who I did learn how to echolocate. So what that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. We have bats in the garden. I want to get one of those bat detectors there. Apparently you can pick them up with the radio and you can call them in there. And Subterranean, thank you for the heart there as well. And what are people's thoughts on... Oh, TikTok wants me to complete a puzzle. There we go. Where are we? people's thoughts on time travel, Rio. So, I mean, again, it's one of these things that ties in with all of what we're talking about here, because time is intrinsically linked to space, hence space-time there. And, you know, when we talk about warp drives and how these UFOs might work there, if you are bending time and space to travel these vast distances, you are also technically building a space, a time machine as well. They are technically the same thing, going forward at the very least anyway. I look at it as battery losses energy and recharging it, and you get it power scheme in the spirit they recharge. That makes sense. I think that's an analogy you can kind of get your head around with that. I do think there is going to be something in the energy side of things there, or at least energy in the scientific sense there. When you lose sight, you realise how much seeing people take for. Oh, yes. Even things like shaving your legs or buying shampoo. Honestly, yeah. And you know, it is a privilege to not have to worry about those things, isn't it? But you do when they go, like, you do very quickly start to go, oh my God, I took all that for granted. I mean, in a way, isn't all the cane tapping that may be done echo? To be honest, I mean, it could be seen as that. That's not, you know, I mean, it's not quite, is it? The same, I suppose it's not as quick there, but it is a rudimentary form like that, isn't it? You know, you're listening. I suppose there's a felt sense with it as well, and the physical feedback of how much the surface reverberates there. But audibly, yeah, it's going to give you a clue, isn't it? That's a very good point there, V. I also hear babies are more open than spiritual energy. Now, that is one that I think that there's an explainable reason, and a very good reason for why they say kids are going to be more open to all of the sorts of things there, because the way the human mind works is that we want to save as many calories as possible. You know, throughout history, it's been expensive for us to run these big brains, so we want to do the least amount of work for the most output there. So if we can understand something for a simple model, that will save us calories of reassessing the situation. So, you know, example, we have a model for a house. Now, everybody's house is different, but we don't have to fully go in and assess what the house, you know, every detail about a house, do we? When we enter a new house, we go, house comes under the category of house, means somebody lives there. There's normally a kitchen, there's normally some bedrooms, there's normally a toilet. You know, it's unconscious. You don't have to kind of process that every time. So we collapse things down into our models. And as the more you get older, the more you collapse these things down into models, rather than actually paying attention to the world as it actually is in raw detail there. So I always find that fascinating. I think that, you know, that's possibly a reason why that, you know, kids when they're younger, they're taking in more of that raw information because they have less of those models to collapse them down. It's why kids eat so much, while they sleep so well. You know, they're you know, making those models there. And Unpopular, how are you doing? Thank you for the heart there. The John Titor story is fascinating. Oh, I did hear about that one a while back there. I can't remember the details of it, but I remember reading a bit on that one there. Brad there you go. You're over on there. Good call. Moving to the Twitch there. As you can type more there. It was my great nan checking in on me after. Oh wow. So thank you, and feel loved and told her she can go now. And all of a sudden, my pup ran up to the hallway, and I followed. And in the way I could smell lavender, which is her favourite flower, and perfume. And then my porch light turned on. Wow. And Alexa started playing her favourite song. That is, yeah. Now that's have you had a lot of experiences like that? That is just insane. That is. Wow. I mean, it was, but you know, I wouldn't mind being visited by a few people. And good to see you too, Unpopular. How has things been going? Nice listening to like. Oh, very. Thank you, Jess. I'm not. It's you guys that are interesting though. Coming in with all your facts and information there. But I do love it. I love having you in. And feel free. Any opinions, we love them all. Even if it's a counter opinion of mine, I love to hear it as well. And do we think disclosure will happen to distract from the episode? I think that could be one of the things in our favour that could leverage disclosure from happening a bit quicker than planned there. So I think you could be very, very right that that could be a strong motivation for them there. And what about people who claim to be from the future, i.e. time travelers? So the way that we know time works, I mean, you know, and this is within the realms of what is understood and accepted to the best of our knowledge. So it doesn't mean that there aren't other ways that we haven't discovered yet, but I think reverse time travel isn't prohibited. We just don't know how to do it mathematically yet, and then obviously creates a lot of other problems. But forward time travel, we do it all of the time anyway, but it's just in such minuscule amounts that it's just imperceptible there. So the idea is that you could travel forward in time, but the rest of the world kind of has to still experience that time. So example, if we talk about I want to go with Alan on a journey to I don't know, God, a star, one light year away, traveling at the speed of light. That will take a year to get there. Now, that for us, it will take a year from the people on Earth watching me fly off into the sunset there. That for them, it'll be a year before I reach there. But for me, it'll be about a week or something along those lines. Because the faster you go to light, relativity comes into play there, so you experience less, or it's vice versa there, something like that. So for people to come from the future, you know, technically, I think, as far as we know, people would have to come from the past to the future rather than by the explainable ways. But there was a chap, he was very interesting, and he was doing something with magnets, and Art Bell gave him quite a lot of airtime various occasions. Seemed like a very interesting mad scientist sort of character. Didn't really sound like he was misleading people, but he claimed to have built something, got investment for it, and then just suddenly kind of disappeared, which was quite interesting. I'm open to the possibility of it. I'm open to it. And Brad, yeah, I get it all the time, and normally it's a feeling of someone watching from the hallway. See, I don't know how I like the idea that, you know, like chosen loved ones, you know, and stuff, there can still be that connection. I think that would be amazing, but also, like, couldn't anybody else do that? You know, like, I don't know, it kind of opens up a vulnerability, I think, there. Oh, did you see the guy who was interviewed? He was asked if Trump would be president again, and he said yes, and nobody believed him there. That does ring a bell there, and you look to some of the things, like, what's the book? Baron Trump, you know, which is obviously Trump's son's name, but it was a book from the 1800s, and it kind of looks a little bit that it could play out, you know, so maybe. I'm really good, very busy, as you know, but loving, like, good. I love to hear it unpopular there. To the chill. Oh, awesome. Well, you're more than welcome to just sit back and relax and to hear me rambling on about things there. 100%, Jess, 100% there, you know, because if you don't know, we don't know what we don't know, do we? And you've always got to keep a little bit, even if you're very confident in something, you've kind of got to keep, and they call it a schmuck tax there, you know, you've got to keep 5% back just in case you're wrong. And I always try, I am human, and sometimes things do catch me off guard. The ego comes in, but I think, as much as you can, you've got to kind of keep a little bit of space open to be wrong. You know, because that is, if we're right, that's boring. You know, means everything's as expected. There's no possibility, good and bad, you know. And I mean, if we really think about it, we have such a short spectrum of a light, so we can see. We do. The visible light is a good chunk of the light spectrum. But then, you know, this is all the electromagnetic spectrum. So light is only part of that. You know, everything is a wave. Everything comes down to that. Question for you there in the chat there, Brad. Fire away. Interested in what you all think. That fire away, Brad. Baron Trump's at Middle Earth. That's Lord of the Rings, wasn't it? He had to travel with the One Ring. Guy claimed it's in the future there, the Trump thing. It's all very interesting. You never know. This is the problem with a lot of our world of stuff, isn't it? There, like, obviously there are going to be people that lie for attention. There are going to be people that just get things wrong through misinterpretation, but it doesn't mean that everything is. That is that, and I think that's where the gems lie there. If you sort through all the other stuff, you know, sieve down, there's going to be gold at the bottom of the bucket there somewhere. see and sounds we can hear, so things could be around us all the time. So now that is very, very true there. We're talking about what the visible light and on the sound spectrum as well. So there are so many things in this world that we do not perceive. We do not have the sensors capable of perceiving them. We've not needed them through evolution. Something obviously hasn't killed us enough to warrant having that sensor there, if evolution is correct there. But so take light for example. The human eye can see a range, so think of the colors basically, the color spectrum there, so we can see all of those colors. But at the low end you have the infrared, and at the top end you have the ultraviolet. We don't see them. Some animals can see in those, but again, there was obviously not a tiger that was only visible in the infrared light spectrum that we needed to develop that sense for to then survive, so evolution didn't require that. And again, it's all about the space and the energy saving. We do not have things that we don't need mostly there as well. But yeah, we do not see the world as it is. There, we consider what we're seeing as objective reality. Something is there, and that's how the world is. It's not at all. In the sounds, it's the same as well. We only get to experience a short chunk of the sound spectrum. There's lots that we just miss out on, and these are the ones that we know about as well. And we're all human, and we're trying to. I'm mostly growing out in the middle, Jess. Filling out nicely. And there's videos of a guy stuck in 2050. The videos came out before AI. So oh, Brad, you're gonna have to send us those. That sounds very, very cool. God, imagine if that was true. I mean, 100% they have played around with this stuff. 100% there. I'm working on a video about David Icke's theories now that have my AI lizard man model working. So this is the worrying thing. A lot of his stuff has come true, isn't it? And the worrying thing about conspiracy theories is that they do seem to be coming true. Jess, so imagine the things that are around us right now that we can't even... this is exactly... I was listening to a podcast earlier today. This is the Danny Jones one, and they had a chap on. He was talking about, or is meant to be talking about, the Silurian hypothesis there. So he's a scientist, and he paired up with another, I think it's a climate scientist, that basically put a paper together which was exploring that if there was a civilization long in Earth's past before us, would there be any evidence, a technological and industrial civilization, would there be any evidence on the Earth left now that we could potentially detect? So this isn't looking into was there really one. This is a thought experiment that if there was, would there be anything possible? Short answer is not really. Not with the way the Earth's environment is. It resets, it recycles its plates there. We're not going to find any evidence if there was. So there could have been multiple technological civilizations pre-us, is roughly the theory behind that. And I thought, this guy sounds interesting. The theory is very interesting, that I'm going to really enjoy this. But I didn't make it more than half an hour in of a 3-hour podcast because the scientist, he was so close-minded to everything out there. He was just saying, I think anti-gravity came up, and he was like, but we know anti-gravity isn't real because we have a complete understanding of gravity because of our model. And I'm like, okay, well, that's out of our current model, right? And you don't know what you don't know. That's how it works. And then he gave an example of exactly that, but used it in a sense to justify the position of, well, there's nothing else to discover. And I'm like, how can you be open in this one area but so dogmatically closed off in all of the other areas? Like you literally don't know what you don't know, until you've observed the things that are different there. So I think you're right. What can't we, what is still there to be discovered? I mean, even with gravity itself, there are still big questions. We have what is called a functional model of gravity, which means our understanding of how it all works 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10 to explain what we'd expect to see. But Newton's version of all of this, Newtonian sort of physics, worked 9 times, 10 times out of 10 back in the day because we weren't able to observe distant stars and things like that, and therefore see that it didn't work. And as technology progressed, our demands of the model progressed, and we saw its flaws, and we had to figure out a new one. I think the same would be true of our current ones there. So it looks like it works a lot for us now, but there are questions still. Why is gravity so goddamn weak is a major one. So we all know that there's lots to still be answered around there, but it's the science as a religion again. Exactly is going to be when we say a visible light spectrum, it's only what we see, so it's visible to us exactly 100% there. Lee, and it's a night from you. Thank you, Lee, for joining us again. We'll catch you later. have a good rest there. And when they were just theories, they were fun and terrifying. Now they are. I know that I used to like all of the stuff because it gets your brain going. It's a bit, again, it's thought experiments, isn't it? It's potential, even if they're on the darker side. It's like, watching a good film there. But when it suddenly becomes real, you're like, actually, I'm not really sure. Not really sure I'm into this as much. Previous civilization is the Dero from the Shiva mystery. Oh, I don't know that. I've not heard those ones. And I heard a Shiva mystery. Oh, I don't know that. Tell me more on that one. I mean, I'm definitely a fan that there are past, even high civilizations, human ones, let alone in the Earth's earlier past, could well have them there. Very terrifying. The ones who think we are alone in space are conspiracy theorists, not life in space. I think it's, again, we haven't learnt the same mistakes there from Copernicus's day. And like this guy here going, but our current model is the correct one, and we know this for sure. Well, that's what they were saying with Newton's model. No, this is fine, this is correct, you've got it wrong. And then it progresses. Totally. I just watched a program where a guy did tests on pyramids in England, and there was some kind of signal, possibly like resonance maybe with it there, shooting up from the centre of the pyramids. So this is we talk about like different tech, maybe a whole different technological tree there with sound and resonance and frequency. We have explored, we know a lot, but we don't. But how much is that a lot of the overall knowledge that's untouched there from our current technological development? We just don't know how many more of the things there are to discover there. There could well have been this adjacent technological tree there that we just went one way. We've definitely done that a few times in our past there. Nowhere else there, and they wouldn't let him dig or anything to look into it. It's so frustrating. There's an interesting chap that talks about the ancient stone circles and the horses, the chalk horses on the hillsides. Basically, a lot of Neolithic structures there as actually being sort of lightning rods, basically, to try and encourage lightning, which would then help fertilize the soil. The Land of Chem, Jeffrey Drum, check him out. It's quite interesting. I don't know how much I'd buy into it fully, but definitely looking at that way, through that lens, rather than just as ritual, I think is very, very interesting there. Newton's non-science theories were a whole different trip. I've heard this, that he actually spent more time in what was it? It wasn't in metaphysics, was it? It was in something really bloody weird there as well, wasn't it? There, and I've sent you the link. Oh, thank you, Brad. There, quick look again. I'll have a sec, see if I can load that one up in a second there. And Rob there, how you doing? Okay, some smart ass deleted my messages. Oh, I haven't seen it. I saw that one, but I haven't seen any others. I've seen that one though. Oh, no, try it. I don't think they were deleted, because there normally comes up if it is deleted. So maybe it was just an error or something there. Tank there, a NASA scientist was murdered. Who was that? Was that a recent one? Let's have a look. Where are we? Doing the thing. Oh, there. I'm just going to look for Brad's message. Let's have a look on the video. And what's the name of the treaty the Palladians offered? Starts with a G. Oh, I don't know that. That's a detail. I forget those. Let's see. Messages. Ah, there we go. There's right. Oh, interesting. This is the guy who claims he's trapped in France in 2055. That is interesting. I mean, yeah, it doesn't look AI. And they've definitely done the details. I wonder if the the inflation, the price inflation on the products is holding up. Is is in line with what we'd expect. Little details like that. Claims he's taken 2025, and no one can debunk his videos. Uploading clips, playing extract to decades. Wonder how he's posting back though. Are we going to get GTA 6 though? That is very interesting. Thank you, Brad. There. The Grader Treaty, or Greeder Treaty, I think that's what Xena says. Pseudoscience. Congress is ordering UFO files uncovered. I heard that one. That's going to be very, very interesting to see. Hopefully they won't drop the ball with it. Newton was all into Bible code for predictions there. Yeah, that's what you said. I mean, but yeah, this is the thing that, he was, very important to science. And, this is the, just because somebody has an interest in one way, it obviously doesn't write them off, does it there? Have you heard, have you ever had any kind of signal? So when we do this, no is the answer. But when it's a clear sky, we do a Skywatch. So we look at a UFO, UAP, Skywatch, get the camera out, point to the night sky. It's absolutely beautiful. But we tend to see some very strange things every time we do that. But, well, when it's raining, we need to do something else to do. So we do this. We still have a chance, but again, there's definitely not as common with this. But you never know. You never know when that might happen. And how did he get to the Mona Lisa with no guards around it and the date on the bottom? So even just the empty shops with the shelves unstacked or mostly empty there, all of that would require unique, obviously with the Mona Lisa as well. So is there any law on, has he ever said in his world then, why it's empty? Because it couldn't have been empty for too long. Because, nature isn't taking hold. It's not damaged. There doesn't look like there's been any civil unrest, as if just people have just disappeared. So, does he say why that the world that he's inhabiting is like that? Yes, but the first hard disclosure on Discord. Oh, I may have to. Not gonna. I am so behind on the on our interesting things section. I am like miles behind on that one. The second, so it might be there, but I haven't seen it there with the. Where are we? Crumpster, there you go. I wonder if the spirit realm is really a connection to the other life forms. It might well be. I've got a gut feeling, which, take it for what it's worth, is probably not a lot, that I don't necessarily think it's going to be a different realm, but I think it's going to be a different way of interacting with this realm, if that makes sense. We talk about that life is potentially... it's potentially like a headset that we're on there. We're in like a bit of virtual reality. That might be that we're kind of putting our consciousness inside the meat suits. But when the consciousness come out, maybe that is just on the sort of the electromagnetic spectrum there, and maybe that's what those things are. Subterranean, well, thank you for joining us. We'll catch you hopefully later there, but I really appreciate all of that. It's a hole in I have yet to go down. I just found it strange thought. Yeah, Brad, no, definitely. I mean, is the lack of people gonna be, is that harder to fake? Is that why, if there were people there, it'd be easier to debunk, so maybe that's a way around it, but I'd like to know. That's a very interesting one, Brad. Kind of like the South Park episode. Yes, exactly. And you might have kind of experienced it to a certain degree, like when you get engrossed in a film, or if you're driving and you're so in the zone driving, you kind of become one with the car, don't you? And you don't see that you're framed in anymore. You become one. You just, you're kind of like that. And it's not that you are actually the car, or you are actually in Lord of the Rings or whatever you're watching. It is like you just kind of, you just kind of step forward a bit, don't you? Then you come out of it and go, like that, and you're kind of more aware of yourself as an individual. I think maybe it's like that, at a bigger level, that you're kind of just going into it like that there. So what is that root thing that is us, that we've talked about as a soul? Because there's no real hard definition, is there? Maybe it is something on the EM wave there. And great, thank you, Crumpster. It's a working one, and thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. Where are you joining us from tonight in the world? Where are we? Carl Gromar, is it there? A 67-year-old scientist there. Fatally shot. Oh my god. Still seeing you up here? I bet you are. So, was this scientist working on anything that could have been seen as a bit, like a bit interesting? That we can see why they may be justifying it. Well, not justifying it, but why that connection could have happened. I don't know what soul is there, but I do know that love is heavy frequency in this universe. I mean, I think that we do. This is where we need to focus. It's like when people talk about AI. Is it sentient? Is it not? Well, first of all, we need to decide what sentience and what consciousness is, and where those definitions apply. We don't have a solid understanding, or at least agreed consensus on what those things are. So I think until you can do that, then you can decide if AI meets that test. I think we need to kind of do the same with the soul and things like that. All the signals up massively again. They're like 50-odd%. I think we need to do that. Not that they're in, but we need to nail that one down. That's going to be our firm foundation there for understanding the rest of these things there. Well, after my mum had an NDE, she told me that that was all she remembered. And lots of people talk along those lines, don't they? And again, NDEs, they're very, very interesting. They, all the reports of the out-of-body experiences and stuff like that. So how, if we are dependent on our meat suits, how can that work unless there is something more fundamental than that to be out of it? Interesting channel. I had fans. Oh, thank you, Crumsnut. Good to have you in. Yeah, we're normally on every day with something. Hopefully tomorrow's going to be a Skywatch as well, with some clear skies. So hopefully we'll catch you then as well. Where are we on the list there? We are coming up to 11 p.m. So we're going to switch over quickly to the Starship Alan. If the button wants to work, there we go. Right, can you spot yourself on the Starship Alan, guys? Where is everybody hiding? Simon's on sick bay. He said he was going to bed, but he's on sick bay. Electron is in engineering. Rob is also in engineering there. Kate is in the engine room. That's a bit worrying. Marcus and hydroponics bay are there. Raph is on the bridge. He loves the bridge. If you want to join our little ant farm, all you got to do is sign up on the Patreon. Even the free tier gets you in here, and you can change your job roles and all this sort of stuff. Currently, the Starship Alan is on its way to Proxima Centauri there. And I won't read out what the mission that Alan has decided for us there. Alan is currently in his room there. Or I think, Alan's in the armory. That's a bit worrying. What could Alan be up to there? I love this. What is going on? Sorry, guys. The connection dropped ever so slightly there. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it's picked up a bit for there. Thank you, Crumpton, for the gifts as well. It's very, very kind of you there. And other things, I love that we discuss all things totally. Variety. And this is the thing. This is the problem with science. And it's also why science is so effective, is that, basically science is focusing on the very minute, the specific, kind of having a very narrow, tight beam of focus there, which allows it to make, consistent incremental improvements in the specifics. But what it misses is that big picture, the overall connections. And that's when the big people like Einstein come in there. They have a bigger picture view. They get the scientists out of their siloed hole and can connect the dots there. So I think you do have to, even if we're here for the UFOs, for the aliens there, you do have to step into the other things, because there's going to be connections, there's going to be patterns that we can recognise there. Emski's in, how are you there? And Holly, how are you? What's it? Oh, God. Bloody TikTok, piss off. Useless platform. Giving me warnings again. Hopefully we're back a bit now. Is it just mine that went out? Oh, are we still out? Oh, I think we're still out over there. I wonder if you tubers have got it there. Oh. How are you doing, tubers? We're going to wind things up. Well, anyway, thank you guys. We'll wind that up for now, and yeah, we'll catch you all tomorrow, hopefully. Oh, Brad, I can see you over in the Twitch now. Yeah, TikTok's had a sulk. We're just going to come off for 11 anyway, so not too bad. It's all lining up anyway. But we'll catch you there. Catch you tomorrow, guys. Fingers crossed for a Skywatch. Bye-bye.